Greetings from Chickenwood. It's been a long time since I recorded a podcast, so I'm feeling a bit rusty, but I'm just going to go right for it and enjoy this wintry day at home with all of you and just sort of take you through my recent projects and little reports on some exciting things that happened over the fall and share a few acquisitions and projects on the go. Just a good old time catching up with all of you. It's been quite a while and lots gone on, and today happens to be like the most wintry, blustery day of all season so far, and I'm so thankful to be home for this. And I'll probably put a little video in at some point if I can manage that of some of the blustery wind blowing around that's going on here at Chickenwood today. It's about 0 degrees and maybe minus 20 with wind chill Fahrenheit. And so it's fierce out there, but it's beautiful and sunny. And anyway, it's kind of what winter used to be around here for weeks at a time, seems like in my memory. Maybe not for weeks at a time, but in this case, it's only going to be for a couple of days, and I'm kind of milking it for all it's worth, frankly. Have to tell you, because I'm a fan, and I hope all of you are safe and sound and warm wherever you are. And that's the downside of this kind of exciting, dramatic weather happening. But hope you're all well, and Happy New Year. It's definitely into the new year, and it's exciting I haven't had a lot of time to really think about it, or I haven't taken the time to reflect an awful lot. I've been still busy right up till the last, before the holidays and through the holidays. Kids were home right up until New Year's Day, and it was great. We had company and family gatherings and the usual, and even with this nice winter weather we're having, we got to keep the pond cleaned off a bit, and people came over and did some skating, and there was skiing all just around the house because there was enough snow. So that worked out well. And I don't know, I'm like a little kid in a candy shop. So, and for all of you who hate this weather, I'm feeling you when it's August and hot and humid and feeling like I'm not even alive. So hang in there, it will change. I'm using my snowflake mug today in the spirit of weather. And I'm also wearing one of my F2, well, not recent FOs, but I finished this sweater in the summer, I think. Boy, am I glad I made this sweater, and I'm so happy to wear it. It's like my uniform this winter. I've been able to wear it so many days. It's kind of stretching out. It's interesting. It's just bigger and looser every day. So I'll probably give it a wash and maybe just hopefully it'll return back to its original state, although I don't mind. And this is sorry about the microphone. This is Ella Gordon's Hap Cowl. I think that's what it's called, Hap Cowl. I made it a year ago after coming home from Shetland. It was one of her newer patterns at the time, and she was the patron of Wool Week. So she had done the little Croft House hat, and this was also a new one at the time. So this has been awesome. Sleeves were too long, but again, on a real cold day, not a problem. I have a little extra there. And I'm also, one of my projects ongoing now is another Lopi sweater that I'm making for my husband. I'm going to do the, what's it called? Ridari. I'm doing the Ridari. And I'll show you that in a little bit. But first, I was just thinking about what to tell you. The last time I recorded, I was anticipating Patricia's arrival, P. Fortune from Norway, and our week together in upstate here in New York, and then our weekend at Rhinebeck. And I never really did a Rhinebeck recap, but we had an awesome time. We just had such a great time having her here at our house and sharing upstate New York in the fall with her. We got to go up into the Adirondacks a little bit for a hike, local apple farms and local cider and donuts, and oh my goodness, it seemed like the week that she arrived, all the color exploded. was rather bland fall up to that point, but as the week progressed, it just got more colorful up here. And as we drove to Rhinebeck, it was a beautiful day to drive down there. And we had a wild, crazy weekend there, but so much fun. It was so great to be there in the mayhem and meet some people that I hadn't met except online and through Ravelry and Instagram and podcasts. So it was totally, totally fun experience. And my daughter Corinne joined us, and we got to know another person locally to us, Adirondack knitter Andrea, who is great because we're going to get together, hopefully, here with Andrea in the coming year. And I really look forward to that. The winter's making it. First it was the holidays, and now it's the weather. So one of these days we're going to have a knit night together. So sooner than later, I hope. In fact, last night, because of the weather, we had to cancel a knitting night with my friend Barb. But we'll reschedule. We'll look forward to that. And Corinne is now knitting a sweater, so she's psyched. She's doing one of Jennifer Steingass's one. Now I can't remember. It'll come to me. It's the one that Patricia made and wore the weekend of Rhinebeck. And we told her it was so hot and that she shouldn't bring more sweaters, and so she only brought one. And turns out she could have worn a few. And oh well, live and learn. So that was awesome. And then when we got back from there, I had to focus on soap for a couple months. I made a pile of soap in October, November, and then the rest of October. And then December, of course, was holidays and soap sales. And it was really exciting, really fun to put the soap out there and other products that I made and sort of get my little business started. Very exciting, very rewarding, and I'm looking forward. In fact, I finally got to making more soap yesterday for the first time in weeks. Felt really good to be back in my workroom and get some things organized, and I've got to order some supplies and get some paperwork together and move on. So the most recent kind of thing I've enjoyed working on, well, a few things, but specifically since I was attracted to Instagram's Spin 15 a Day in 2018 challenge. Boy, I've just not done any spinning since the summer. So I was like, oh, should I sign up for this? I mean, not that it's any serious commitment, it's just an idea. And I said, no, I'm going to do it. I've got fiber here. I've got the wheels. I miss the spinning. So I did. And the third day in, I did 3 times the 15 minutes to catch up. Didn't actually start till January 3rd. However, this is one of the rovings that I picked up in Rhinebeck. This farm does beautiful Jacob. This one is a blend of the different colors as opposed to, keeping them separated. And it's doing a really pretty, I would say it'll probably be a light worsted when I apply it together. There we go. Is that better? Oh, that's a good one. And it's a beautiful kind of slightly marled, heathery, silvery gray, steel gray. And I'm going to really love it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. And I'll have 6 ounces spun up, depending on what yardage that gives us. I'll decide later, but it sure is nice to be spinning again. When I get away from it, I forget. And so that's been fun. And the other thing I've been focusing on is John's sweater. So I'll show you that next. And that's in a bag that's a gift. Whoa. Come on, peeps. This is a fringe supply bag. It's the plaid one. This was a really, doesn't show up very well here. But anyway, it's so sturdy. And also what I bought with it, with gift to self, is these really cool, I'm sorry for the noise, brass stitch markers, some silver ones too. They're just simple little brass rings. That's my favorite kind of stitch marker. They don't get in the way. They aren't. They don't have the bling, which I used to love the bling, but sometimes that gets caught in my knitting, and so I'm really getting down to more simple design first stitching tools. Anywho, the Radari is designed by, well, it's a Lopi pattern. Doesn't say. Istex puts it out from Iceland. Here's the photo. And John really liked these colors, so we're just going to go with that. The green, called Moor. We're doing a heathery black, oatmeal heather instead of light beige, and frostbite, which is one of my favorite colors. So this is the Moor. I don't know if you can see that too well here. It's attached to my sleeves. This is the heather beige. That's pretty realistic. This is the heathery black. There we go. And frostbite. Do I have frostbite in here? Yeah, here's the frostbite. It's a lighter frosty green. And I've gotten the body done up to the arms. Excuse me one sec. And the sleeves, well, he's a long, tall drink of water, Buzz. And the sleeves, I don't know, they're going to be pretty long. But I've been monogamous with them for a few days. So they might actually get done maybe tonight if I focus and concentrate. I think that's 21 inches to where I connect with the body. So this is about a foot. Well, yeah, this is about, oh, they don't look the same length. I've been doing them 2 at a time because I want them to be the same length. This way I know they're going to be the same length, even if they may look a little off due to gauge or something. I don't know. Anyhow, that's going to be super, and I want to get it done so that you can wear it this winter before we lose our awesome winter. So really trying to stick with that and work on that steadily. Prior to focusing on that, I thought I wasn't going to do any holiday knitting much. Well, that didn't last. So a lot of the things that I finished recently are not here anymore. So I thought I would show you the patterns of them at least and tell you about them. They were all really fun to knit. So one of my gifts for one of my sons was going to be a Lopi sweater. And I wanted him to choose the colors and the design over Christmas week when he was home. Turns out, well, I'll tell you that in a minute. So I saw this adorable little thing on Ravelry. So as part of his gift, I knitted up a little teeny tiny Lopi sweater. It's called Mini Lopapesa Keyring by Rod Prionar from Iceland. You can find it on Ravelry. Here. And I had scraps from this sweater and knitted it up in one evening. It was really fun, very cute. So that was the gift with the certificate for the whole sweater, which we would order up when he decided what he wanted. Turned out I had made a mistake thinking that he actually wanted a sweater. A while back he had said, "Mom, think you could make me a sweater sometime?" or something like that. I had made him some in high school. Been a long time. And when he thought about it more realistically now, he was like, I don't even wear sweaters that much. I would hate to have you make it and go to all that trouble and then have me not wear it and have it sit in my drawer. So I really appreciated that because that is huge. That is I'm glad that he understood that, and he was bold enough to say, and practical enough and honest to say that wouldn't be a good choice. So we changed the plans, and actually I had made him a hat for Christmas, which was super fun to knit. That's my phone. Sorry about that. And it came out great. It fit him perfectly. And he just had a little issue with itchiness around the itchy forehead and ears. It was part hand-spun Romney and part commercial. I'm not sure what that was, but that one was kind of soft. So it was a gray Romney that I had spun last summer and some white commercial that I had in my stash. And I don't have a photo of it here, but I'll put a photo in the, I'll just put a little insert in there of the hat. I was able to find some fleece fabric and sew in like a 3 or 4 inch panel around the bottom of the inside of the hat. And it worked perfectly. And it was so fun to learn a new skill and learn how to deal with that. I always thought about doing that many times, never followed through. And now I think I will probably try that in some of my things, like a headband or some of the hats I've done. They don't usually bother me much, but they might bother others, and I'll be at the ready with fleece and sewing needle to make it perfect for them. And it's his favorite hat now. He hasn't taken it off, I don't think, since I gave it to him. This was the basic Norwegian star hat that Andrea had mentioned, Adirondack Knitter on Instagram. She made a few for her family, and it's made with worsted weight, so it's fairly quick, 2-color knit, and a really super pattern. And the crown is solid color, so you don't have to worry about color work in the decrease section. And you still have all the color work across the majority of the hat. And it just looked great. So hopefully I can pop a photo in of him wearing the hat. Then the other holiday knitting I had done was about 3 pair of slippers. Oh, I think I did show you those in the last podcast. I had made a pair that didn't fit me very well, so they went to my daughter's friend, and decided to make Corinne a pair. Ran out of some of the gray, and I think those I used handspun white and handspun gray. Sorry about the microphone. I'm so bad about that. And they came out closer to each other's size. Then I made a pair for Ethan's girlfriend, Annie, and I used commercial white, and I had enough of the handspun gray for the whole pair of socks. So they came out the same finally for once. But they're a really fun pattern to knit. You've probably seen them. It's Kristen Drysdale. Scandi Knits? I'll have to look that up because it doesn't say on her pattern who she is on Instagram, but I'm pretty sure it's Scandi Knits. And I'll correct this in the editing if that's not the case. Lovely pattern. She has a whole bunch of slippers out. If you go to her page on Ravelry, you can see a variety of slipper patterns in the similar design, similar construction. I actually learned to knit backwards in 2 colors. I mean, I always do. I knit Fair Isle and with both colors on my left hand, one around one finger, one around the other, and I just, I lift the finger for which color I'm on. So rather than turn it around and purl in 2 colors for this bottom of the slipper where this one section until you are ready to cast on and knit circularly for the foot, you have to do back and forth for this heel part that you later sew up. So, I mean, I did some of the purling in 2 colors. I tried it with one in each hand, and I tried it with both in the left, and it was okay, but the tension wasn't so great. So I thought I've knit backwards before in certain instances. I think when I did entrelac specifically, but I thought I would try this with 2 colors, and I actually did it, and I liked it best of all of the 3 ways of trying to do that. So that was a great learning curve there. And I'm trying to think that's all probably. I have some other ongoing whips that I've shared with you before. And I think I'll just continue with those and then I'll get into some things that I picked up at Rhinebeck and things from Patricia from Norway, and then a couple of holiday acquisition thingies. This is one that I put down when everything else had to get done. And this is a really special project for me. I told you about it before, I'm pretty sure. It's out of the handspun from the Shetland handspun. Barb and I, when we went to Shetland in 2016, we arranged to have some roving ready to buy, and we picked it up and we used borrowed spinning wheels, and we did about 6 or 7 different colors, certainly enough to make this headband. Is it a headband or a hat? Now I don't even know. I picked up the pattern from one of the stitch books, and when I went to pick it up over holidays, I couldn't find what notebook I had put this info in. Just today I found the book after looking through all kinds of other notebooks. I'm so pleased. And of course, wouldn't you know, it's in the Shetland notebook that I started using for this project. So there's my notes, and there's my motif that I took out of, did I write that down? I did. Alice Starmore's Fair Isle Knitting Book, page 49 for the Peary pattern, page 58 for the pattern. So now I can finish it. I'm so excited. Once I finish the sweater, this will be next. The yarn came out quite soft. And I think this particular design is using 5 colors. There's a Morit and a darker black and a gray. And then there's another gray and, hang on, yeah, a little bouquet of Shetland loveliness. I don't know if the light's very good, but they're lovely. I love them. Whoa, now they're on the floor. Okay, we'll just drop that. I'm halfway up the headband, and now I'm like psyched to get it finished. And now that I've done the fleece, I could put a little fleece inside this for my, although I don't think I'll need it. This is so soft. It's beautiful Shetland. So that's exciting, and it's like finding an old friend. I was afraid I couldn't remember. I looked in a few of the stitch books, and there were no notes sticking out. So organized. I leave notes just sticking out of books. Well, I surprised myself this time. Totally did. So let's just show you the rest of this notebook. This is on the inside of this notebook. Isn't that gorgeous? Let's see. And this is the back, inside back. And here's the back. All these beautiful Shetland knit pieces. So there's that, and I have a pair of, another pair of Selbluvater I've started because Patricia brought some of the Rauma yarn from Norway, and I'm psyched to be working on that. I started one, and I was reading the pattern all wrong. So this is the classic black and white, and I just have the cuff begun. I have a long way to go. But it's a start, and this is, I believe this is the pattern by Skein-Deer. Let me just check. Selbu Mittens by Skein-Deer Knits. Yeah, there you go. That's the one. I had been doing the opposite, like a black star on the white yarn, and I didn't even notice. I was oblivious because of the holidays. I think they kind of shot my brain a little bit. So, one more, yeah. This one I haven't touched in a long time, but I so look forward to getting back to it. Isle of Purbeck. I know I've shown it to you before on other episodes, but I'll just show you how far it's come. It's really getting there. And it was at the point where I really didn't have to think too much. I was pretty used to the pattern, but I'll probably have to redo that. It doesn't look like much now, but it will when it's done and blocked. And it's this really warm, goldy color, which I think will be fine when late winter, early spring comes around. It'll just add a little more warmth to the concept. The psychological warmth thing, gold color. Speaking of the yarn that Patricia brought from Norway, she brought some other yarn from Norway. I don't think I've done a podcast since before then. I think I posted a photo. She brought some of this beautiful Norwegian lamb's wool, and I haven't started anything with it yet. It's so precious and dear to me. It's called Tinde Pelsgull yarn, and very lovely. With probably DK weight. I probably need one more skein to have enough for a sweater. Excuse me. And this is the color to go with it, which is lovely. It's a beautiful gift. Patricia, we had such a lovely time together, and there'll be more news that I'll tell you about that because we have more plans in the works. She brought me this gorgeous knitting bag that she helped design with her daughter. I think her daughter drew the photo, the print, and her friend did the print making and did the sewing. This is gorgeous. Look at this pretty blue gingham lining. Anyway, Patricia made these darling little mitts that were fashioned after a pair that the 100-year-old woman from Norway had made and given to Patricia. And it's such a special gift. So thanks, Patricia. Looking forward to seeing you soon. What else is in here? Nothing much. Ah, yes, actually the card. The card for the bag. Made by Tricket. Unistrand.no. I'll show you the tag. That's the front. Here's the other side. So that's what came from Norway. And this yarn is from our Rhinebeck adventure. That really, other than seeing people, my only Rhinebeck goal was to do this. And so we did. We got to go up to the Jill Draper open house in Kingston on Saturday night. And I got to meet daughter of a shepherd. Oh, shoot. I know her name. Brain cramp. Anyhow, that one, that lovely person who we enjoyed chatting with. And I bought some yarn. Of course, I bought the last year's Hebrideans Warbles blend in DK weight, enough for a shawl, which I have started. And then I just couldn't resist a skein of the sock weight because I look forward to that. I did finish a pair of the other Hebridean blend that I got from Blacker, the mohair blend, and they came out quite nice. They're slightly, a little tiny bit itchy on my feet, but I don't think anything I can't get used to. This was the latte, vanilla latte sock, I believe. Great pattern, great socks, and great yarn. Nice. And so the Daughter of a Shepherd yarn, that'll be my next Hebridean sock adventure. But I love knitting with the DK. It is a beautiful, rich, dark, chocolatey color and a lovely texture. And I've decided to do the shawl that she had on display there. By Paulina Popiolek, The Sentinel by Paulina P. It's a very nice, soothing pattern to do, mostly garter stitch. And that's what it is so far. But it's a nice gauge. I don't remember. It looks like a size 7 needle. So it's a little bit loosish, but I don't mind that. I'd rather have it, if it's going to be a nice, toasty wraparound shawl, I don't mind it having a little bit of loose gauge. Just makes it a little stretchier, comfy. Let me see. So a couple things that arrived at the holidays, some books and things to tell you about. My daughter gave me this book, which I'm looking forward to. I haven't cracked it open yet, but wait for, another one of those nice winter reading days. That'll be fun. Have any of you read this? By Claire Parks, Knitlandia. My son, they got my number. They do. My son was at a craft show in Portland, Maine recently, and he stumbled across Matterroot, Maine, and he didn't know I knew about Matterroot, Maine, and really fond of their products and stuff. So this appeared on Christmas Day from my son, and it's grid lines notebook. So that's going to be a lovely record keeper. I don't know if I'll use it as a journal or as patterns and stuff. Excuse me, the next book fell on the floor. But I really love it. And the last thing I think I'm going to share with you here is this one from my daughter, because she and I and Andrea and Patricia are all going to meet up in Edinburgh. Woohoo! Never thought I would ever get there, but when we were at Rhinebeck, someone had, well, we just started dreaming, started thinking, what if this could happen, maybe if this could happen, it could all happen. So we all got home and we all made arrangements and figured it out. And with a lot of help from a friend over in Edinburgh, we are on our way. March 13th, I believe. So we are so looking forward to that. I can't believe it. It hasn't hit me yet, really, but I think once I look through this magazine and start looking at the EYF notices and things, it's going to go by so fast. But we were thinking about staying on for a few more days and exploring a little bit, sort of make up for Corinne's super wet hike up in the Highlands a couple of years back when she was there at Oxford on her semester away. She and a friend got up to the Highlands, and they were hiking the West Highland Way, and they had one day in which to do a part of it, and it was pouring down rain and cold and miserable, and even the local people thought they were crazy for being out. I mean, those people that are used to dealing with that kind of weather, even they thought these girls were a little bit nuts, but they went anyway because it was their chance. Well, they laugh about, they were just like drowned rats on the bus home, and can you imagine the fumes from shoes to sweaters to anyway, that was rough. And I thought how fun it would be if she and I, 'cause I'd love to go up there, I've never been up there, if she and I took a couple extra days, took the train up to Inverness area and the West Highland Way again for her, first time for me. But realizing it was March, we thought maybe we should go at a better time of year, because it could very well happen again that same way. We should go when there's a little better chance of a nice day on the hike and everything else. So that's what we decided. We're going to do that. We'll have time to explore Edinburgh and maybe get out of the city a little bit, or maybe not, because it sounds to me like you could spend a week there and never get bored. Not to mention the Yarn Festival, of course. And so we're watching like hawks so we can get our tickets and plan some events, or if I know they go pretty quickly, so if we don't get in the specific events or classes, we're not going to worry about it, because it's still going to just be great to be there and experience this festival. I've heard so many things about it that resonate with me. Such a treat. So excited about that. And can't think if there's anything else I'm forgetting. I'm not really using notes today. Just looking around at the surrounding stuff. Well, I just wanted to get back in touch and say that I'm still here and looking forward to the new year and sharing things with you as time goes by. I hope everyone is warm and safe and well, and I look forward to hearing from you. If you want to get in touch with me on Instagram, I'm LF Dubois.